Welcome back. This tutorial is going to continue the Servo series and we'll be introducing our very first input. Very cool. To get this one going, we're going to need a little pot, as well as the breadboard combination that we made last time. This tutorial will go through the theory and then we'll wire up the potentiometer and program the Arduino to read a potentiometer. Previously, the Arduino just swept through the servo values of 0 through 180. This is cool, but there's nothing that we can interact with, so it's kind of boring. We want the servo to react to an input. The input in this case is going to be the potentiometer. Potentiometers have a variable resistance, which means as you turn the knob on them, the voltage that is output varies. We want the servo to turn as we turn the potentiometer. But because the servo has a different input than the potentiometer has an output, we have the Arduino translate between the two. So the Arduino will take in the variable analog voltage from the potentiometer and map those values to something that the servo can understand. Then command the servo. So let's get to wiring. Like the servo, we're going to need 3 wires. One is going to be for 5 volts, the supply voltage. Another one is going to be for the signal, which we will route to A0, and the final one will be for ground. Now let's wire it up on the breadboard. We'll plug the 3-pin potentiometer into the breadboard, followed by ground on one side, ground on the Arduino, supply voltage on the other side, going to 5 volts on the Arduino. And finally, the signal wire from the middle row of the potentiometer to A0 of the Arduino. As I mentioned in the theory, we're going to be taking in the analog input from the potentiometer, which will vary from 0 to 5 volts. But the function that we're going to be using, analog read, has an output of 0 to 1023. This means the values of analog read are going to have to be translated or mapped to values that the servo function can understand. Summing it up, we're going to sense the voltage, map the value, and then output it to the servo. First thing we need to do is make an integer. We're going to call this value, and we're going to set it equal to analog read of A0. Then we're going to delete some of this extra stuff right here. Next, we're going to need to map the value using the map function. And we'll set the value of value to the output of the map function. Inside the map function goes the variable that we're going to map, which is value, the low that we expect from it, the high that we expect from it, and then what we want to set it to, which are going to be 0 through 180. Fantastic. All that's left is to send the output to the servo by writing myservo.write value instead of I. Done there. Let's upload this and see how she goes. Superbly done. Now, when the potentiometer rotates, the servo follows suit. That's pretty cool. Leave questions and comments below. Annihilate that like button, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.